Welcome to the HEB Center at Cedar Park. As you find your seats for today's ceremony, we ask that you please move to the innermost seat in your row to ensure room for our other guests. We also ask that incomplete parties refrain from saving seats. After today's ceremony has ended, please exit the building and plan to meet your graduate outside the east main entrance near the flagpoles. Thank you. Welcome to the HEB Center at Cedar Park. As you find your seats for today's ceremony, we ask that you please move to the innermost seat in your row to ensure room for our other guests. We also ask that incomplete parties refrain from saving seats. After today's ceremony has ended, please exit the building and plan to meet your graduate outside the east main entrance near the flagpoles. Thank you. Welcome to the HEB Center at Cedar Park. As you find your seats for today's ceremony, we ask that you please move to the innermost seat in your row to ensure room for our other guests. We also ask that incomplete parties refrain from saving seats. After today's ceremony has ended, please exit the building and plan to meet your graduate outside the east main entrance near the flagpoles. Thank you. Welcome to the HEB Center at Cedar Park. As you find your seats for today's ceremony, we ask that you please move to the innermost seat in your row to ensure room for our other guests. We also ask that incomplete parties refrain from saving seats. After today's ceremony has ended, please exit the building and plan to meet your graduate outside the east main entrance near the flagpoles. Thank you. Welcome to the HEB Center at Cedar Park. As you find your seats for today's ceremony, we ask that you please move to the innermost seat in your row to ensure room for our other guests. We also ask that incomplete parties refrain from saving seats. After today's ceremony has ended, please exit the building and plan to meet your graduate outside the east main entrance near the flagpoles. Thank you. Welcome to the HEB Center at Cedar Park. As you find your seats for today's ceremony, we ask that you please move to the innermost seat in your row to ensure room for our other guests. We also ask that incomplete parties refrain from saving seats. After today's ceremony has ended, please exit the building and plan to meet your graduate outside the east main entrance near the flagpoles. Thank you. Welcome to the HEB Center at Cedar Park. As you find your seats for today's ceremony, we ask that you please move to the innermost seat in your row to ensure room for our other guests. We also ask that incomplete parties refrain from saving seats. After today's ceremony has ended, please exit the building and plan to meet your graduate outside the east main entrance near the flagpoles. Thank you.
script. I should already be a Lily. We're good. We're going to relax on that one. What? Relax on that one. We're waiting for them to sit. Good afternoon, graduates, family, friends, honored guests. My name is Chris Simpson. I am the principal of Leander High School. On behalf of the faculty, thank you. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students, I'd like to welcome you to Leander High School's 2019 graduation ceremony. To begin our ceremony, I would like to introduce Senior Class Treasurer, Lily Rowland. Stand for the pledge.
Good afternoon, LHS. At this time, would you please stand for the presentation of colors, the Pledge of Allegiance, and the singing of our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem. Thank you. You may be seated. I would like to introduce the honored guests and participants on stage. Please stand when you are called. Members of the Leander ISD School Board, President Mr. Aaron Johnson, Vice President Mrs. Grace Barber Jordan, Board Member Dr. Gloria Gonzalez Delucia, Board Member Mrs. Alexis Grimes, Board Member Mrs. Pam Wagoner, Superintendent of LISD Schools, Dr. Dan Troxel, District Administration, Chief of Staff, Mr. Matt Smith, Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Matt Bentz. Area Superintendent, Dr. Laura Lynn Arterberry. Leander High School Feeder School Principals, Mrs. Becky Webster, Principal of Aiken Elementary. Mrs. Sally Hill, Principal of Giddens Elementary. Dr. Donna Brady, Principal of Winkley Elementary. Mr. Mark Kohler, Principal of Leander Middle School. School Administration and Counseling, Mrs. Erica Acuna, Administrative Assistant to the Principal. Mrs. Yvonne Chambliss, Administrative Assistant to Counselors. Mr. Duane Teets, Lead Counselor. Ms. Marcia Simmons, Counselor. Mrs. Christina Vandiver, Counselor. Mrs. Elizabeth Garcia, Counselor. Mrs. Heather Lyle, Counselor. Ms. Nancy Byers, Counselor. Ms. Kyla Mills, Associate Principal. Mr. Raul Howard, Assistant Principal. Mrs. Melanie Meyer, Assistant Principal. Mr. Tom Robbins, Assistant Principal. And Mrs. Jamie Spexar, Assistant Principal. Thank you for all your support and hard work with the senior class. The class of 2019 respectfully requests, out of consideration for the graduates, their families, and friends, that you refrain from using air horns or other noise-making devices during the graduation ceremony. At this time, I would like to introduce the senior class president, Mara Sherry, who will give the opening comments.
Ladies and gentlemen, parents, teachers, students, distinguished guests, welcome to the graduation of Leander High School's class of 2019. Thank you all for being here. Seniors, we made it. In just a few moments, our names will be called, we'll walk across the stage, we'll get the diploma, we will be done. Our time at Leander High School will have come to an end. Maybe you've been counting down the days until this moment for 4 years. Maybe you've been dreading it. Or maybe today came faster than you ever could have expected, and the reality of it all is catching you by surprise. One way or another, here it is. I don't know about you, but I've never been big on endings. I dread the final chapter of a favorite book, the last days of summer, saying goodbye to a friend. I guess we have to face that these endings are inevitable. The book must close and fall must come. But with every ending comes a new beginning. High school has come to an end, but today is just the start. Today we begin making our dreams a reality. Today we enter the real world, as adults so often call it. We step out of the nest, not quite knowing if we can fly, but ready to see what we can do. Soon we will find out what we are capable of. A favorite quote of mine says, "Every great person in history has started off as nothing more than we are now. Students, if they can do it, why not us?" The coming years in our lives may be filled with uncertainty, and you may be like me and just be pretending to know what you'd like to do with your life. But the good news is, we have time. It is never too late to decide who or what you want to be. You may forget the rest of the speech the second you walk out that door, but the one thing I'd like you to remember is that wherever you end up next year, the workforce, college, the military, you are capable of whatever you set your mind to. You have the ability for greatness. And this greatness doesn't have to be finding a cure for cancer or something crazy. Some of the greatest things have been done by people you've never heard of. Find what greatness means to you. Find your personal achievements and goals. Continue to find out who you are, find what you love, and be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. So before we move on forever and give that final breath of relief when we actually receive our diploma, I'd like to look back on these past few years. There may be many memories we'd like to forget, and there may be many parts that were absolutely nothing like High School Musical, but I definitely think we can find some similarities. Leander High School gave us an environment where we were challenged to become the best versions of ourselves. We found communities where we met friends that I hope will last a lifetime. Thank you, IB. We were given 4 years to begin discovering who we are. Look back at yourself freshman year. Look at yourself now. Look at how far you've come. Thank the people that made the last 4 years memorable, the teachers that challenged you, the parents that supported you, adults that taught us it was okay to fall as long as we got back up, and the friends that made it all the worthwhile. In one way or another, Leander High School has prepared us to move forward. The next phase of life may not be easy. High school certainly wasn't all the time. And it will come with new risks and obstacles that we have to face. Congratulations, class of 2019. It is time for us to close this book and move on to another. It is time to take the next step with our best days ahead of us. In the words of Dr. Seuss, you are off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. At this time, Mr. Simpson will welcome our honor graduates.
Great job, Mara. Leonardo Zamora Yanez is the son of Hugo Zamora and Maria Yanez and brother of Angel, Ashley, and Valentina. He has been a member of the Leander High School cross-country team his sophomore through his senior years and has been part of the track and field teams all 4 years, captaining both his senior year. Leo served as a member of the National Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, and is the president of the Spanish National Honor Society his senior year. Leo is also an IB diploma candidate and will attend the Massachusetts Institute of Technology next fall, where he will study chemical engineering. Please welcome our salutatorian, Leonardo Zamora. You got it.
Well, thanks for that introduction, Mr. Simpson. And that was a lot of applause for the first loser. All right. I am proud to stand here today as your salutatorian, an honor that I could not have dreamt of 4 years ago. However, I really think most of what has been accomplished throughout our time we can thank our principals. Mr. Simpson, thank you. And I want to thank Mr. Simpson once again for these last 2 years of smooth sailing and for making high school an unforgettable part of our lives. And to the rest of the audience, I hope you've enjoyed your time so far. I would like to thank the friends, teachers, and family of the class of 2019 for coming out this morning and showing their everlasting support one last time. I know waking up this early and waiting for hours just for a 10-second walk must be draining. And as I look into the crowd, I see the people who helped me get through these past 4 years. My brother, my teammates, my coaches, my teachers, my friends, especially you, Jay Spool. But above all, I would like to thank my parents, to whom I owe everything in my life. Muchas gracias, mamá y papá. I still remember my freshman year, staring at the towering seniors lumbering through the halls. Hi, Amara. It's good to see that some things just never change. As a freshman, I came in with the blurred vision of high school, one where I would begin my preparation for the real world, as many adults call it. The real world, something that we are constantly told we are severely underprepared for, something that as high schoolers we have yet to understand, and as freshmen, I was naive enough to have this view. As a class, we have seen much change throughout our 4 years in Leander High School. We begun with Ms. Spicer as our principal for the first 2 years and witnessed her graduation to Dr. Spicer. Then, we continued our last 2 years with Mr. Simpson as our principal, who is here with us today. Together, we have witnessed the great accomplishments of Leander's band and experienced Friday Night Lights as a school. But we've also risen together in times of need. We rose against intolerance through the formation of Amari Outreach in 2016, and once again last year in our protest of school shootings. We have lost friends and family along the way, but the friendships we fostered will last a lifetime. It took me 4 years, but I finally realized we are living in what our elders somberly referred to as the real world. How many of us worked during the school year, all while attending classes and participating in various extracurriculars? How many of us stayed past midnight on a regular basis, not solely due to our ever-present procrastination, but to our sense of duty to better ourselves, to prove that we are worth more than the rest of the world ever bargained for? How much more real can the world really get? We are no different from the generations that came before us. When a challenge arises, we meet it head on. Whether this is a reckless disregard for consequences or profound bravery, that is up for us to decide. Whatever comes next, whether it is college, a job, or just some time to discover where our passions lie, I want to leave everyone knowing that the class of 2019 is ready for whatever challenge the world holds. Thank you.
Hold up, Leo, hold up. You did great. Aralp Orkun is the son of Tolunai and Teresa Orkun and the brother to Alper Orkun. He is an IB diploma candidate and a College Board National Hispanic Scholar. Aralp plays the bassoon in the Austin Youth Orchestra and is a 4-time TMEA All-State musician. Aralp is a member of the National Honor Society and the Spanish National Honor Society. In addition, he is an officer of Mu Alpha Theta and captain of the varsity tennis team. This fall, Aralp will be attending the University of Texas at Austin, where he'll be majoring in electrical and computer engineering. Aralp will be graduating with a GPA of 5.689. Yeah, it's impressive. Please welcome our valedictorian, Aralp Orkun.
Hi, everybody. First off, I would like to thank Mr. Simpson for the warm introduction and Leo for a great heartfelt speech. As you could tell, his speech was well prepared and truly inspirational. My speech? My mother would be the first person to tell you that it was completed at the last minute. Standing on the stage and speaking as the valedictorian of the class of 2019, I can only admire the immense amount of talent gathered here today. Although I hold this title, I can confidently say that I am not the smartest person in this room. The mere fractions of a point that separates my GPA from Leo's should serve as evidence of the intense competition at the school. Furthermore, the large amount of students in front of me who also demonstrate strong talents and personal ambitions outside of their academics is worth mentioning. Today, we celebrate all of this. As we arrive at an important crossroad in our lives, I encourage everybody to hone in on specific skills and passions that interest you. Too often are we told to be well-rounded. The result? Mediocrity in all skill sets. After all, it is said that the jack of all trades is the master of none. Instead, I ask everybody to identify what is truly important to you and your future and strive to be the best in whatever you do. Staying motivated to achieve greatness may seem daunting, and to tell you the truth, it kind of is. However, trust in yourself and what you already know and build upon your past experiences. These last 4 years have ultimately been practice for the real world, letting you explore yourself and the world around you. Whether you believe it or not, you have what it takes to succeed. The future now lies in your hands. The concept of personal responsibility is certainly something I have learned during my time in high school. I have come to realize that each failure I have experienced is solely the product of my own. It is easy, too easy, to shift our responsibilities to others, to compare ourselves unfavorably to other people, and to blame even our mentors and supporters for our biggest shortcomings. The quicker you realize that the biggest barrier to success is your own self, the quicker you'll be able to control and shape your own destiny. You cannot choose the cards you're dealt, but you can control the game you play. I ask everyone to be ambitious, but also considerate. Before we all go our separate ways, I want to recognize the uniqueness of our class. We are the first graduating class born entirely in the 2000s. We grew up together in the digital age, experiencing the growth of the internet during our own lives. We live in an exciting time as the world is changing at a rapid pace. The people next to you today are likely to interact with technology in ways never seen before. Let all of this sink in for a second. Some of you will end up working directly on the application and utilization of new AI and technology. Some of you will be major influencers on platforms such as Instagram and Snapchat. And some of you will become mumble rappers and SoundCloud artists. Regardless, the world better be ready for the class of 2019. It's our turn. Now at this point, I realize that the only thing preventing you from receiving your diploma is Ralph's long and boring speech, so I'll make this last section quick. As a final note, I would like to thank my family for supporting me along this amazing journey. Alper, thank you for being the ideal role model of what a brother should be and for always offering help during your busy life. Dad, thank you for waking me up on all the days I have failed to do so on my own and the consistent support you have always given me. Mom, sorry for playing the bassoon so late at night and for failing to keep my room clean. I promise I'm working on it. Just kidding. Thank you, Mom. Thank you to my friends for dealing with my route moments. You guys know who you are and are legit the best. Thank you to my teachers for being some of the smartest and most helpful educators I have had the opportunity to work with. The faculty of the school for dealing with a wide variety of problems on a daily basis. The cafeteria ladies, custodians, bus drivers, and many more for filling an important yet largely underappreciated role at our school. Mr. Simpson and the LISD superintendent, board, and principals for recognizing me with this highly coveted honor, and the whole class of 2019 for allowing me to have this amazing opportunity to address you all today. Thank you all, and congratulations, class of 2019.
At this time, I would like to introduce the Leander High School Choir, who will perform a double treat with Leander Band, singing Homeward Bound. Thank you, band and choir, for that wonderful performance. It is with great pride that I anticipated part of our ceremony, the presentation of the class of 2019 and the awarding of the diplomas. Mr. President, Board of Trustees, Dr. Troxel, on behalf of the faculty and staff of Leander High School, it is my honor to certify the Leander High School class of 2019. At this time, will our ushers please come forward, and will our first row of graduates please stand? At this time, I would like to ask members of the Board of Trustees and Dr. Troxel to come forward so we can begin the conferring of diplomas. Audience members, today's ceremony is intended to be celebratory and exciting. We also request that it be very dignified and honoring to all our graduates. Our goal is that each name would be clearly understood. Therefore, we respectfully request that you refrain from lengthy displays of affirmation so that the next name might be clearly heard and honored. Thank you. Good luck.
Eralp Andres Orcun. Leonardo Osmar Zamora Yanez. Rachel Nicole Beasy. Anastasia De Gorstiza. Mara Catherine Sherry. Isabella K. Hill. Dylan Chase Alexander. Kyla Azevedo. Carson Reese Diamond. Mallory Elaine Weigel. Charles D. Aboud. Lauren Ashley Aguilar. Afadil Wahid Ahmed. Connor Joseph Albert. Ernesto Alejo Jr. Lauren Ashley Alva. Ryan Nicholas Emerson. Samuel Steele Anderson. Hunter Evan Andrews. Aaron Renee Arias. Alyssa Marie Arisbe. Robert Michael Arredondo. Chastity Ashby. Samantha Elizabeth Augustine. Scott Allen Ballard. Roberto Alejandro Balmori. Jade Alexandria Berger. Victor Sebastian Barrios. Shay Anna Marie Caseta Bartel. Luke William Bartone. Kevin Anthony Bartone. Mateen Ahmed Bashiri.
Dakota Jaden Bates. Maggie Ridge Bates. Connor Alexander Baudier. Jacob Edward Beard. Liliana Marie Beebe. Zachary David Wilton Behrens. Anthony Thomas Beltran. Emma Grace Benefield. Henry Owen Birmingham V. Michael Panna Bow. Rachel Diane Blackman. Hannah Bell Bodie. Leah Kate Bowling. Sydney Peyton Bradford. Madison Grace Brady. Rhett Adrian Brady. Brianna Victoria Branscombe. Kai Luis Bravo de Rueda. Stephen James Bright. Sydney Paige Brinkman. Eduardo Jesus Briceño. Courtney Elizabeth Ann Brown.
Carrie Brown. Wesley Ryan Brown. Joshua Michael Bunker. Kai Birch. Catherine Adine Berger. Tyler Arthur Burnell. Wilson Blake Burton. Justice Lee Bynum. Jacob Ryan Camden. Jordan Elena Campbell. Caleb Alvin Cantu. Joe Roberts Cantu. Mariah Danielle Carabardi. Megan Josephine Carls. Christian James Karanko. Bryce Tecumseh Carson. Rashad Jarrell Carter. Gabriella Erin Cash. Hannah Naomi Castiglione. Alan Orta Castillo. Adam Casares. Amelia Bell Saboys. Alexis Michelle Cedillo.
Gigi Sika. Sophia Hunter Childress. Logan Riley Clark. Ada Jane Clausen. Scott Taylor Colvin Jr. Paulina Conchas. Shaylin Contreras. César Antonio Contreras Muñoz. Angelina Nicole Cook. Alexandria J.C. Cook. Spencer Ward Cook. Nicholas Bowman Copeland. Diego Costa. Braylon Kirsten Cotton. Dylan Thomas Cotton. Riley Madison Cotton. Angelina Janae Cummington. Victor Keenan Cummington. Kirsten Leanne Cox. Haven Faith Capo Crawford. Robert Michael Crawford. Kristen Amber Kreitz. Lillian Jean Crouch. Alexis Nicole Cruz.
David Ulysses Cruz. Olivia Morgan Cuellar. Kenneth Eugene Cunningham. Ashley Elizabeth Kerr. Joshua Glenn Dansby. Elise Nicole Darling. Destiny Davis. Darian Davis. Sasha Danielle Davis. Zane Gregory Davison. Titus Sarar Dawkins. Felix Brandon Daku. Cameron Brooke Denton. Nathan Tyler Diaz. Grace Dixon. Bryant Emerson DeMock. Katie Michelle Doyle. Jasmine Maya Dominguez. McKenna Rain Donworth. Noel Benjamin Duckworth. Jared Michael Ellis. Madison Nicole Ellis.
Danielle Serenity Emmond. Sierra Jade Esco. Juan Jose Escobedo. Eduardo Escobedo Miranda. Valesia Victoria Esposito. Calvin J. Evans. Kikachuku Joshua Ize Dunor. Krishana Aline Edmondson. Logan Scott Fagley. William Christopher Fivery. Shelby Nicole Fisher. Alyssa Flor Flores. Moses Ramon Napalan Flores. Trista Jolie Flowers. Sophie Forrester. Sosha Alma France. Harley Nicole Frias. Georgia Louise Fritz. Nathaniel Jacob Fuentes. Bei Takuma Fujimoto. Kaylee Elizabeth Gabrielson. Isabella Marie Galindo. Okay. Ryan Patrick Gallagher. Paulo Garcia. Riley Levon Garcia.
Victoria Zeta Garcia. Xavier Alexander Garcia. Vanessa Garcia Castro. Giovanna Garcia Mata. David John Giacconi Jr. Vincent Garcia Rivera. Alyssa Brianne Garza. Amanda Danielle Garza. Joshua James Garza. Madison Page Garza. John Elliott Geiger. Victoria Rose Gentry. Josephine Mary George. Lilt Guillon. Leah Winifred Ann Giddens. Emily Lee Gift. Layla Raina Gilbert. Easton Garrett Gill. Gabrielle Miriam Gilly. Benjamin Carter Gerard. Amanda Lynn Golka. Callie Michelle Gomez. Katie Marie Gomez. Vanessa Gomez.
Natalia Marina Gonzalez. Savannah Ray Gonzalez. Ariana Gabrielle Gonzalez Montes. Jeremiah Jacob Gonzalez. Julia Danielle Gonzalez. Melanie Gonzalez. Richard Wayne Gonzalez. Sergio Antonio Gonzalez Laguna. Maya Siri Graves. Madeline Grace Greenstreet. Daphne Ann Pascal Grion. Alexis Nichelle Grogan. Daisy Godino. Colin Joseph Gustafson. Jesus Ruben Gutierrez. Daenaria Gutierrez Sarco. Garrison Tomas Guzman. Robert Andrew Guzman. Brandon Sebastian Habricht. Sinclair Lauren Hammerbach. Duncan Alexander Harmon. Okay. Destiny Renee Harris. Shay Matthew Harvey. Caleb Campbell Hatch.
Clara May Hatfield. Colton Richard Heller. Dylan Mile Hemby. Haley Dawn Henderson. Allison Chloe Herm. Chance Tyler Hernandez. Jose Hernan Hernandez. Lorenzo Enrique Hernandez. Richard Marcus Hernandez. Daniela Hernandez Resendez. Brianna Renee Herrera. Kevin James Higgins. Lauren Taylor Hilbricht. Brianna Marie Hilton. Benjamin Joseph Hoff. Connor Benjamin Hoagland. Joshua Thomas Holder. Caroline Elizabeth Holmes. Erica Erin Hood. Kayla Elizabeth Ho'omana. Catherine Ann Hope. Hunter Ethan Howe. Dustin Dean Hubbard. Devin Kelly Hudson. Dylan James Hudson.
Rebecca Wee. Madison Paige Hunt. Jacoli Latrell Hunter. Hayden Douglas Eiler. Claire Elizabeth Emig. Andrew Isenpayu. Michaela Nicole Jackson. Ángel Daniel Jaimes. Jack Jaimes. Alexander Ian Jarez. Reed Anthony Jimenez. Bailey Logan Johnson. Jack Dalton Johnson. Emily Michelle Johnston. Kaylee Ann Jones. Mackenzie Rose Jones. Hugo Juarez Jr. Esther Kerke. Madeline Noel Cueja. Catherine Marie Kyler. Bradley John Keene. Noah Wade Kellum. Sydney Paige Kennedy. Carly Renee Kesselring.
Taylor Grace Key. Cameron Faith King. Juliana Ashlyn Cook. Mallory Grace Cook. Corey Delane Kruger. Rayanne Marie Kruger. Tyler Aaron Kunze. Cara Jessica Lalonde. Brianna Nicole Lane. Gregory James Moshe Larks. London Powell Larson. Addison Sanders LaRue. Holly Cuellar Lash. Elise Gail Laughlin. Cedric Trevon Lavallee. Candace Marie Lawless. Michael Christian Lauter. Alyssa Suzanne Ledbetter. Andrea Yvette Lerma. Brian Thomas Lewis. Marilyn Monique Lewis. Gabriel Joseph Lilly. Parker Ryan Lindsay. Gunnar Newt Lingard.
Eric Anthony Locust. David Joshua Longoria. Edward Philip Lopez. Samuel Mark Lopez. Jacob Michael Lepresto. Elizabeth Renee Luna. Alexandria Gail Lytle. Evan Jared Mackey. Isaiah James Magnuson. Sarah Ronke Magic Kudomi. Daniel Lawrence Maldonado. Anthony Maldonado. Nancy Elizabeth Maldonado. Peter Albert Martin. Trent Riley Martin. Brianna Marie Martinez. Jade Kathleen Martinez. Juanita Maria Martinez. Alessandra Mata.
Jania Lynette Matthews. William Braden McCollar. Colin J. McEnany. Charles Dylan McOster. Logan Dorsey McDonald. James David McGee. John Wesley McCain IV. Erin Alyssa McSorley. Allison Marie Melanson. Jordan Brianna Mickle. Addison Lee Mings. Nicholas Xavier Mitchell. Zil Mohammed. Ayana Faye Monreal. Carlos Montoya Jaimes. Cassidy Sky Moran. Alexis Diana Moreno. Jorge Ricardo Moscoso Martinez. Dean Brandon Moser. Haley Rose Moselle. Caleb Mauser. Caitlin Marie Muela.
Oscar Martinez. Cassidy Shine Miller. Alexandra Munoz. Melissa Abigail Munoz. Jaleska Jamil Munoz. Abilene Nava Nicanor. Anthony Jose Nelson. Amanda Lynn Doan Wynn. Brendan Wee Wynn. Declan Paul Norden. Madeline Olivia Norris. Remy Marie Norton. Patrick Daniel Naibondas. George Ray Olan. Sophie McCall Oleski. Skyla Nicole Onksley. Alyssa Nicole Ortega. Christopher Dwin Ortiz. Tyler Gregory Owen. Raúl Alejandro Palacios. John Drake Palmeter. Leonardo Palomino.
Carr Alexander Pineda. Michelle Catherine Parker. Shandi Dharmish Patel. Noah Lee Paul. Etienne Christian Palou. Adeline Celine Payne. Ethan Carradine Payne. Jillian Michelle Payne. Macy Dawn Peevler. Alexandria Renee Pena. Miranda Renee Pena. Julieta Esmeralda Pena Gallegos. Drew Eugene Penberg. Adam Michael Penniger. Katrina Mercy Phillip. Eric Christopher Phillips. Dustin Nasim Pinkney. Catherine Grace Pizer. Michael Ray Potter. Christian Andrew Prater. Andrea Priokanen. Lauren Madison Presley. Catherine Morgan Price. Brian James Bucket. Jesus Edward Puente Rosales.
Dalton Patrick Quinn. Cameron Ray Rahe. Connor James Radovich. Amy Cecibel Ramos. Samantha Nicole Rangel. Leslie Louise Rash. Marcus Lee Reeling. Norma Brigitte Ricio. Jacob Avery Reed. Lance Payton Reed. Micah Sterling Reese. Alexander John Reeve. Andrew Jason Reichhold. Avery Michaela Respondic. Selena Angelica Reyes. Jose Ángel Reyes Adán. Natalia Reynoso. Allison Marie Richardson. Grant Alexander Roby. Emma Grace Robinson. Eric Ezequiel Rodriguez. Kobe Marcel Rodriguez. Lehigh Sua Rodriguez.
Rafael Andres Rodriguez. Sarah Ann Rodriguez Dean. Blaine Elijah Rodan. Logan Lee Rose. Caitlin Nicole Rawson. Devin Rout. Lily K. Rowland. Alexia Renee Rowling. Hudson Jeffrey Ruin. Angel Elijah Ruiz. Grace Marie Rush. Conrad Lucas Russell. Connor Mitchell Rutherford. Cindy Janeth Salazar Rangel. Garrett Daniel Salazar. Montserrat Salazar Rodriguez. Sebastian Romeo Salinas. Zachary Dallas Staple Getling. Ishmael Sebastian Sanchez. Annalise Santoyo. Abby Danielle Saunders. Caitlin May Scarborough. Layla Marie Schaefer.
Madison Sky Schlieve. Quentin Trey Schultz. Brianna Elizabeth Scott. Michaela Seeliger. Megan Elizabeth Sheehy. Jackson Scott Shell. Kobe Joseph Salito. Jada Grace Sementel. Hayden Utah Simmons. Landon Kyle Sisson. Amanda Catherine Smith. Jacob Christopher Smith. Jalen Sue Smith. Jalen Smith. John Matthew Smith. Emily Marie Smithson. Robin Elaine Smithson. Hayden Alexander Snow. Sofia Jared Soto. Josiah Tatsu Sotomayor. Josiah Daniel Sparks. Kavan LaShawn Spence. Kayla Lachelle Spence.
Madison Dawn Stathis. Amaya Camille Stearns. Hunter Conley Stevens. Shelby Nicole Swanson. Jay Taylor. Yvette Marie Tottenham Gonzalez. Caleb Alexander Taylor. Carice Monet Taylor. Avery Faith Teets. Martine Andrew Tejes. Elena Nicole Theologus. Haley Amata Thiessen. Caleb Glenn Tompkins. Alexa Jade Thompson. Emily Elizabeth Toot. Benjamin Robert Towell. Benjamin Augustus Townsend. Rowan Marie Tuckner. Angel Garcia Tyson. Carl James Spencer Urban. Camilla Uria. Lena Juliana Vaughn. Natalie Ann Villanueva.
Luis Felipe Villatoro. Christopher Villatoro Riley. Luis Miguel Villegas. Jose Manuel Vital Troche. Cody Lee Vota. Jordan Alexander Vowles. Brooke Michelle Wages. Aaliyah Whaley. Cheyenne Simone Walker. Thomas Walker. Gabrielle Janae Warner. Austin James Webb. Haley Michelle Webster. Evan Riley Wells. Cassidy West. Haley White. Megan Marie White. Caitlin May Weisman. Sarah Christine Wilcox. Jada Sade Williams. Kais Wilson. Kaylin Gail Winters.
Angela Catherine Whistlesons. Colin Michael Wood. Kaylani Gabrielle Worthington. Amy Yuchin Wu. Nicole Wyatt. Lennox Sue Yoakum. John Ashley Yoder. Andrew Joseph Young. Ayana Janelle Tanae Zachary. Daniel David Zook. Kerrigan Zumbrum.
There's a bottle under there if you need it. I got this. The hard part's done, huh? Let's give one more round of applause for the class of 2019. This afternoon, I have the honor of recognizing some of the unique accomplishments of the class of 2019. The class of 2019 has students who have chosen to serve our country and protect our freedoms and those of others. If you have enlisted in the armed services, will you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. The class of 2019 is the 13th class to participate in ACC's dual credit program. Leander High School has 145 seniors who earn 3 or more credit hours through this program. This year's senior class has earned a grand total of 1,824 college credit hours, which equates to a saving in their post-secondary education of nearly $507,000 at a Texas public institution. If you participated in the dual credit program, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated. I would like to recognize all of the students who are graduating as Texas Scholars. Recognition is given to seniors who graduate on the LISD, a Distinguished with Honors graduation plan. The class of 2019 has 278 students graduating as Texas Scholars. If you have been awarded a Texas Scholars Medal, please stand and be recognized at this time. Thank you. You may be seated. In an effort to provide a valuable experience outside of the normal classroom, Leander High School seniors are eligible to participate in Cool Week. A Cool Week is an internship program with outside businesses in which students spend 1 week learning the ins and outs of a business. If you are one of these 67 students, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated. This year, we have 45 International Baccalaureate Diploma candidates recognized by a white stole and 6 IB course candidates recognized by silver cords. The IB Diploma candidates have completed a rigorous 2-year program in which they took college-level courses and sat for exams in 6 academic subjects. In addition, they took a theory of knowledge course. They showed commitment to creativity, activity, and service over 2 years and completed a 4,000-word extended essay in a subject of their choice. If you're one of our IB candidates or course students, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated. The Advanced Placement Program gives students the opportunity to take college-level courses and exams in a variety of content areas to earn college credit and placement. This year, 130 seniors took a total of 302 exams. Please stand and be recognized if you're an AP student. Wow, just stand up. Career and technical education is an integral part of our campus community, and I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge all students who have completed and earned a certification for the workplace. Please stand and be recognized if you earned a certification for the workplace. Thank you. You may be seated. Lastly, I'd like to recognize all of our students who have been awarded scholarships for their academic achievements, merits, talents, and athletic abilities. If you're a recipient of a scholarship, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated. Class of 2019, you have a lot to be proud of. Your parents, this board, our central administration, and our Lion family are incredibly proud of you. This is your moment. You have earned it. Enjoy it. Whether it be watching you create in the classroom, competing on the field, and on stage, I have so enjoyed being a part of your growth and your education. Each and every day, embrace the challenge of making yourself and the world around you a better place. I look forward to seeing you as future electricians, a serviceman, artists, musicians, athletes, educators, and all that you'll become as you strive to make a positive influence on your world. A thank you to all of our families, friends, guests, and educators for your part in making today and these past 4 years special for these students. Students, make sure to take the time to thank someone who has made an impact on your journey to becoming a high school graduate. I do wish the very best for each and every one of you. At this time, please direct your attention to the screen to view a video prepared by Ms. Lindsay, Alley, and our seniors on the yearbook staff, and enjoy a look back at some of the memories that made up the class of 2019.
Told me, babe, someday these will be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret.
I think my favorite memory is probably the football games and being front and center of the student section at every single game this season.
In these 4 years, I learned to enjoy life because it goes by fast.
I really learned just to be myself and not try to change to make other people happy.
In these 4 years, I have gotten to know and learned with students who have changed my life for the better.
Now look at where we are, still growing up, still growing up.
In these 4 years, I have seen a lot.
I've learned a lot of things, but I still don't know which yours to use. I've danced a lot.
I would describe this year's senior class as crazy.
You would have told me, babe, that someday these
with lots of fun kids that love life and have very high goals and a lot of passion.
Hardworking, dedicated, compassionate. Did I mention crazy?
In these past 4 years, I have seen a group of students who, more than any other cohort that I have worked with, is passionate about doing the right thing. I believe that you are going to change the world.
In these 4 years, I have seen the senior class, especially the IB senior class, grow from being nervous 9th graders who weren't sure if they even wanted to challenge themselves to IB seniors who can write a 4,000-word extended essay, who can confidently talk about their research and their writing to younger students, and who are about to go off to college and be really successful. So I'm really proud.
To be cheer captain my senior year.
In these 4 years, we won Best Production for our musical
at the Greater Austin High School Musical Theater Awards.
Being elected to be the vice president of HOSA.
I've learned that spending countless long and tiring hours doing something you love is 100% worth it.
In these 4 years, I learned that numbers don't define you, your GPA does not define your personality, and your SAT score does not define your accomplishments.
I have learned that hard work pays off.
Everybody I know is growing up, and I don't want to go, no, how am I supposed
taught me really to just be more confident in myself. Like, I can do a lot of the stuff that I want to do.
I've learned that time management and consistency equals success.
In these 4 years, I've made lifelong friends.
Is I think the advice that I give to you every day in my class, but to all of you, I hope that you look up, get your faces and heads out of your phones and look up, because you're going to realize really quickly that you are missing it. I hope that you reach high and not give up when things get difficult.
In these 4 years, I have seen a group of students who have shown more tolerance for marginalized groups than any generation I've taught before over the past 2 decades, and definitely much more than my own generation showed. I don't think that the reports that you hear about America becoming more divided are true. I think this generation shows that, if anything, we're becoming more tolerant. Those studies will also tell you that the only thing we're becoming less tolerant of is intolerance. So keep that up. I think you all are an amazing group of kids, and I think you're definitely going to change this country.
So I would say in your next 4 years that I would encourage you to continue to do the same. I'd encourage you to challenge yourself every single day in whatever you decide to do, whether you're going to be an electrician, whether you are going to be out on the battlefields, literally out on the battlefields, whether you're going to college, that you challenge yourself to be a better person every single day in whatever you do, in whatever your path is in front of you. That's what I would encourage you to do.
Thank you to our yearbook staff for that wonderful presentation. Please welcome our senior class vice president, Amy Ramos, who will deliver our closing remarks. Amy.
Hello. Let's wrap this up. An ant will not cross a line drawn with chalk because it is afraid to. Well, actually, that's a debunked myth because it's not just chalk. Anything that disrupts the scent trail will briefly stop the ant. In fact, a line of cinnamon is more effective. Don't you wish you could just tell the ant there's nothing to fear, like, hey, ant, you're fully capable of crossing that white line, or I know the aroma of cinnamon is irresistible, but it's holding you back, or you are fully capable of overcoming many different lines, but you need to try it for yourself first because no one else can believe for you. When it comes to talking about limitations in the mind, this is my favorite metaphor because we're all very similar to ants coexisting in a giant crazy ant farm that we call life that only gets bigger and more chaotic after today. At that point, we call it society. Anyways, over the course of the past 4 years, the class of 2019 has learned to cross the imaginary lines that may have once confined them. We've all learned things that you can only learn through experience that have sculpted us. Through trial and error, through trying and dying, because if you want to live, you need to die a little first. People that were once just friends became family over shared tears, shared laughter, and shared joy. I doubt anyone here sitting in front of me is the exact same person they once were when they first walked into the confusing hallways of Leander High School. I know me, Amy Ramos, is not the same. My personality has changed, my friend group has changed, and my goals and dreams have become more defined. The only thing that really stayed the same is my height. Let's just say I look up to a lot of people. Late last year, when I was going through some of the worst, yet most defining months of my life, I made a friend who was also experiencing a rough chapter. She would come over to my house frequently, and we grew close. I remember the first time she came over, I told her I kind of forgot how to hang out with friends and just relax, because it had been a while. She would change that. She would help me grow as a person and become the sister I'd never had. I hope all of you that haven't experienced a friendship like that are one day blessed with one. Bless each other with the gift of your own unique personality. You never know who will need it. You never know who you will help cross the chalk lines. The last metaphor I'll use is be your own spice, be your own ingredient. By that I mean be your own person, because every one of you has a purpose. If you're the sugar in my coffee or the honey in my tea, wonderful. But if you're like the bark of cinnamon, generally pungent and not terribly sweet in any objective sense, that's wonderful too. What I'm getting at is you are needed. Even if you're not ready to be thrown into the mix of society's endless recipes, don't fret, because there are people out there that love you for you. There's a graduate sitting in front of me in the audience that eats cinnamon sticks by themselves. So I promise you that you are loved for who you are. Thank you for being here. Thank you to my family. I also want to say thank you to the people that couldn't be here this afternoon, that are special to us and that have held a special place in our heart for a long time. On behalf of everyone, congratulations, class of 2019. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. At this time, I'd like to invite our graduates, our families, and our friends to stand with us as we sing a Leander High School school song one last time together. Here we go. Link our L's. Yeah, link our L's. Just as a reminder, during the recessional, the graduates will exit the HEB Center at the sides of the building the same way we came in, where they will greet their family and friends. Graduates, the tassel attached to your cap is used for both a differentiation and unifying purposes. The graduation tassel represents a belonging to a particular class that has completed its goals. The traditional turning of the tassel at graduation symbolizes one's transition from candidate to graduate. In recognition of the conferring of your diplomas, it is now time. Please turn your tassel. With the turning of your tassel, I bid you farewell as the students of Leander High School and congratulate you one last time, the class of 2019.
Wear this
Thank you for coming to the HEB Center at Cedar Park. Please exit the building and plan to meet your graduate outside the east main entrance near the flagpoles. For the safety and protection of all of our guests, please limit your time and clear the area once meeting with your party. Thank you. Thank you for coming to the HEB Center at Cedar Park. Please exit the building and plan to meet your graduate outside the east main entrance near the flagpoles. For the safety and protection of all of our guests, please limit your time and clear the area once meeting with your party. Thank you. Thank you for coming to the HEB